friends to spam me with thoughts of why TERFs and GCs say that autistic people are being targeted by the trans cult, and they delivered. One of my friends wrote me a 2.5-page essay on the topic, and I'm here for it. I'm probably gonna feature some of their thoughts in this video. I have kind of summarized them, but it's not quite the same as being able to read their thoughts for yourself, and then they deserve credit for these thoughts because they're really profound. So the reason why I wanted to do this video wasn't 100% selfless. I think I have autism, and I think some of my characteristics led to being undiagnosed as a child. I always did well in school. I made good grades. I wasn't disruptive. I didn't really have behavior issues. I'm female. And autism manifests very differently in females than it does in males. But if I'm autistic, why wasn't I targeted by the trans cult? So why do I think that people say that autistic people are being targeted by the trans cult? I think this is a way to take someone's autonomy away, and it's a way to create an us versus them mentality. I think that TERFs and GCs seem to think that autistic people are vulnerable and they're easily manipulated. One of my friends said that they don't think that there's a higher prevalence of autism in trans people. It's just that autistic people are more willing to come out because they're already used to not fitting in. So being trans isn't really a big step. The idea of autistic people being manipulated is pretty funny because have you ever tried to get an autistic person to do something that they don't want to do? Good luck. We're a pretty stubborn bunch. One of my friends said that they thought that this thought was another form of ableism, and I 100% agree. Most of them have no issues with IQ, and autism exists on a spectrum. It's very rare for there to be autistic people who can't live independently. My friends and I don't think a trans cult even exists at all. And autistic people are just an easy target, much like women and girls, to promote transphobia. Autistic people are very capable of independent thought, and they can see through manipulation. People love to infantilize groups that they see as vulnerable, and autism is no exception. So we'll talk about some of the characteristics about people who are autistic and trans specifically. Gender dysphoria is the feeling of incongruence with someone's phenotypic sex and the mental understanding of it. Gender dysphoria is associated with being trans, but not always. The most commonly understood trans people are male to female, female to male, and non-binary. And they may want to undergo surgeries or have hormonal treatment to alter their phenotype, but not always. So, does a trans cult even exist? I don't think so. I think this is just TERF and GC cult speak. It's a way to try to demonize trans people. That's part of their script, is to say that the vulnerable people are being targeted and manipulated into being trans because they think that being trans is a break from reality. Being trans is just a normal variation of being human. It's fine. It's not a manipulation. It's not a mental illness. It's not a disorder. So, can autistic people be trans? Absolutely. Autistic people are smart enough to be able to see through manipulation. They are very highly intelligent. Most of them don't have an issue with IQ. Even the person who was very self-righteous about autistic people being targeted by the trans cult said that a lot of them are very capable of consenting and that we should just let them exist. The irony. It's deep. So, do I think that autistic people are being targeted by the trans cult? Absolutely not. I think it's just a way for people to feel like they're doing something good to protect the vulnerable people from falling into this awful delusion as they see it. They think that autistic people have to be saved from themselves, basically. They can't just let them exist. It's let them exist unless they're trans. So, honestly, it's just self-righteous people who need to take a seat and let people live their lives.